It's time to down tools for a bit. Welcome to the ToolShed, the influential podcast for anyone and everyone involved in the building industry. Here's your host, Mick Hawes.
Hey folks, welcome to the ToolShed podcast, another episode. It's a little bit of a breakthrough episode. We've got more than one guest. And in the past, we've spoken to Aleah Atherton and a bunch of other ladies about the issues, the challenges of the females in a traditionally male-dominated space, the trades-based space, and it's a really exciting conversation to have. And in this case, we're speaking to three ladies from Future Lady Tradies, and I'd like to introduce you to them right now. And there they are, and here we all are. And it's Aleah, Taleah, and Kayla. And Taleah's in the middle and is the cousin of the two twins on the outside, which is Kayla and Aleah. And I'm no longer confused because I was before, but I'm completely clear now. So welcome to the podcast. I'm not sure how this is going to work because I'll ask a question and I'm not sure who's going to answer, but I want to know about the backstory first, I guess, from each of you, how you got involved in this, because it's just not something you would expect, having some young ladies getting involved in this and creating an organisation like this to I'm assuming, encourage more females into the trades and I guess clearing the pathway. So who wants to go first? Is it Taleah in the middle will go first and you tell us your story?
Yeah, so I finished school about 3 years ago and I started working at Mecca Recruitment. And then from working at Mecca, we noticed that not a lot of females were coming to us for work. We very rarely heard from any. And then we took it upon ourselves as a trade starts at an apprenticeship to establish the charity that's now Future Lady Tradies.
Yeah, terrific.
Just on that, our story on how we came about is pretty much the same because we work at Mecca Recruitment as well. And that's when we found the niche, except we graduated high school 2 years ago and she was 3 years ago.
Okay, so you're only just fresh out of school. I can't remember when I was at school, but it was only a few years ago for you. So tell us how this all got started. Like it's a bizarre thing, I would imagine, for girls to sit around the table and say we want to create an organisation to address this issue. So who came up with the idea? What was the conversation? How did it work?
So we noticed that not a lot of females are reaching out to us, so we kind of dug deeper and found the niche in the market to increase female participation and get more girls into the industry. So that's kind of where it first started, and our mum and auntie who owns Mecca Recruitment, she kind of pushed us in that direction to take the first leap because we're the same age demographic as apprentices generally. So, yeah.
So tell us how it works. Like, what is Future Ladies Tradies? I've noticed by stalking you on Instagram and things like that that you seem to have a lot of functions. There seems to be a lot of glasses and cheers and standing around in groups having a good time. Apart from the parties, what do you do there at Future Lady Tradies? What's the objective?
So Future Lady Tradies is a charity to support female apprentices. So we want to attract, connect and retain more women in male-dominated industries. So
in Future Lady Tradies, we offer memberships for apprentices to help support them throughout their 4-year apprenticeship, just so they have all the support that they will need when completing an apprenticeship. So that includes mentors, tutoring, because a lot of girls that have approached us particularly need help with the tutoring aspect of things. And then we also have a counsellor that we've partnered with, Pink Health. So she focuses on women's health as well, and that really aligns with the FLT brand. And being in the Gen Z generation, mental health is the number one topic at the moment.
Yeah.
So we really want to make sure that we are making that a priority in our charity as well.
Yeah.
So
So-
well as allowances.
While we're
Sorry.
on that point, no, that's okay. Just on the mental health thing, because the next question I had sort of loaded, ready to go, was that there must be challenges, there must be problems. I mean,
Yeah.
I was, some years ago, I was an electrical apprentice. I was an apprentice electrician, and there were challenges back then. But I, it was kind of all guys back then. Like, we wouldn't have even thought of having any ladies involved in the trades. And so that throws up a whole another bunch of problems. So what are some of the problems that you are made aware of through Future Lady Tradies, and how is that dealt with? How do you support and guide the members that you have?
So the common theme that we kind of see in the industry with young girls is isolation. They, being the only girl on site, they don't have a lot of people to run to. That's what they feel. So then they can come to us and we can put them in the direction of our counsellor so they can have a chat to just about what they're experiencing and how they feel and things like that.
Or even, I was going to add, even if it is just like them wanting to have a friendly chat or just somebody to talk to, not necessarily needing counselling, that's where we're here for. And we have an amazing female electrician, so she's a mentor as well. So we're always here to be there for our members. And
So somebody listening to this, female or male, that's experiencing, that challenge of isolation, what are some of the advice, the guidance, the direction, tools, resources that somebody should look for if they're just not, feeling part of the team and feeling isolated when they're at work?
Yeah. So I think that's when the mentors come in. They can relate to an apprentice more on site than what we could, but even we're happy to have a chat. But if it is more serious cases, that's when we'll refer our counsellor to them.
Yeah, cool. And where do you find them? Like, where do you find the mentors? How have you sort of found the more experienced tradespeople to be able to support future tradie ladies?
Yeah, so I think it's just through the connections and the networking. And we do have quite a large social media presence. So we get quite a few like fourth-year apprentices and that they'll follow us and then they'll reach out. And
I think because we're close to age, they kind of just naturally gravitate towards us as well.
So are all of the mentors female, or do you have male mentors, or what's the setup there?
So for the moment, as we've only been operating for about a year and a half, we do only just have one mentor at the moment. But as we grow, we definitely will be looking on taking on mentors, both male and female.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of amazing conversations in the last month or so on the podcast with some other ladies who are involved in this space as well. One being Aleah Atherton. I'm not sure. Did I see a photo with you and her, or am I making that up? Am I making that up?
probably.
I've got a good imagination. It might have been the other two ladies that we've spoken to. I'm not sure, but I mean, to me, the exciting thing is there is this progression. There is this, I guess, awareness of the not only the challenges, because I don't want to particularly be, what are all of the problems and how do we fix them and all of that sort of stuff. There's some really cool stuff going on, and part of the conversations that we've had in the past also, and I'd love your thoughts on it, are the advantages and the value that businesses have when they've got some female energy on the team. Like, there is many benefits and advantages by having different perspectives and different skill sets and different way of thinking and so on. So what have you noticed about that? What's the value, do you think, that ladies bring to a team?
Yeah, so the biggest one that we get told is that when there's a female on site, the males on site, they'll tend to open up a bit more and talk about like how they're feeling or their struggles as well, which helps build like the morale and I guess the mental health of the
also,
site.
a lot of the employees that we've talked to have said attention to detail. A lot of girls, are really good with the finer details and doing projects quicker, more efficient, and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of feedback we've kind of heard in the industry at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting stuff. It's like it's not. I think that the whole team functions. It shouldn't be an us and them, and we're better than you or anything like that. I think that having everybody represented in the team makes the whole team better, and everybody else enjoys themselves. Everybody else can be far more successful. So it's a wonderful thing that you're doing.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Help me understand the setup that you've got as far as how do people reach out to you? How do people get involved? And I guess it would be a good opportunity to sort of expand on if there are other tradespeople out there that want to lend a hand to get in contact with you and offer to become a mentor or create resources, offer resources, whatever the case may be. But from a membership point of view, somebody listening to this and saying, this sounds like a really cool thing, I want to get involved, how do they do it? Because I know your website's being built. I tried to get on it and it's not ready yet, but we're going to promote it anyway for when it is ready. But apart from that, how do we get in contact? How do we get started, and what can they experience? What can they expect?
Yeah, well, so we're pretty big on social media. We're on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. It's just Future Lady Tradies. That's usually where a lot of people reach out to us on there. So that's probably the best platforms for them to reach out. But we've recently just restructured and have released 3 new services as well. So that's a way employees can get involved by getting involved with these new services. So the first one is called Build It Like a Tradie, and that's a school program that we've created. Pretty much bringing construction to schools where kids will have to construct a home essentially.
Wow.
And work together. And so that's just an effective way to introduce the industry to students and attract more apprentices. Yeah, because we know we just graduated school not long ago and we did not enjoy just sitting in a room for 45 minutes watching someone speak, and having a hands-on experience is just a more effective way to gauge their attention.
How are you going with the schools? Like, do you get a lot of uptake with the schools? Are they interested in participating in your program? Because it sounds like a lot of fun apart from anything.
Yeah, so we've taken the idea and concept to some careers expos, and the feedback we had from the students was phenomenal. They were asking us when we were coming back, that they loved the idea. We had the year 12 students say, are you going to be back this year before we leave? Which was really good. And then, the principal said, it's effective to engage students, because he said half the time they're just looking out the window daydreaming. So he's all for having, in this one particular school we're talking about, he's all for having a real hands-on like program and experience rather than all the presentations that come out quite often.
Yeah, excellent. So somebody finds you on social media, they message you, I'm assuming, is that the point of connection? And then what happens? Do they jump on the phone and have a conversation with you, or what are the next steps after that?
Yeah, so we can ask for their contact details, or we can send our contact details, and then we will generally give them a call and have a bit of a chat to them. If there's a girl wanting to enter the industry, we'll kind of ask a couple of questions, and if they want maybe work experience, and then we can find them employers to work for. But if it's employers, then we generally schedule a meeting to kind of introduce ourselves face to face. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Mick Hawes from Builders Business Black Belt, and I hope you're enjoying this episode of the ToolShed podcast. I've got something super exciting I want to share with you. We've got a place that's got a whole bunch more free resources to help you with your building business. In fact, there's a whole other podcast that gives you specific training that will help you get more free time, more profit, and more enjoyment from your building business. And it's called, funnily enough, the ToolShed. It's free to join, and it's full of other success-focused builders. And I invite you to join us in the ToolShed, where you can ask me questions and get guidance and support from other successful builders. Just click the link in the description to join, and I'll see you in there. I hope you enjoy the rest of this podcast. How do you find your employers? How do they become aware of your existence?
So we just pretty much call up companies, and with the connections that we have already, they help spread the name as well.
Yeah, networking events.
Heaps
all
of
that kind
networking
stuff.
events. Yeah.
I've seen that from the photos.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
And so we have the conversation, want to get involved. What then is the experience of your is it a membership that we're talking about? So there's I suppose an investment to become a member, and then you start to enjoy all of the resources you can provide to point them in the right direction.
So with the memberships, generally the employers would pay for their apprentice to get our
Cool.
services, because we don't want to take out of the apprentices' pockets, as they already don't earn a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a conversation we would have with the apprentice. If they really want our service, then we would approach the employer and kind of have that chat from there.
Yeah, and then from them being on the membership, that's when they receive the counselling, the mentoring,
and all the
tutoring,
benefits.
all of that kind of stuff, and also events that we hold, which is basically a networking event for apprentices, so they can meet people that are similar, closely aged as them.
Kind of create that community that FLT will create.
Yeah. A little while ago, you mentioned that there were 3 new services. I think we only talked about one before I got sidetracked. What are the other 2?
So the second one we've released is a female-friendly workplace accreditation. So we sort of just sat back and analysed the market for a little bit, and from that we noticed that there were all these certain topics that kept getting spoken about, but no one was really doing anything to change those and enforce change. So that's where we've developed the female-friendly workplace accreditation to ensure that companies work towards making sure that they have what females need on site.
So
you go.
The accreditation basically outlines policies that companies will have to work towards. Things like having a female toilet on site is a requirement in the accreditation, because we have heard in the industry that females don't have toilets sometimes. So by having this accreditation, it's a simple and effective way for companies to hold companies accountable. Also having the corrected PPE if the employer if the employer provides that. Little things like that to retain females in the workplace and all of that kind of stuff.
And then our third service is the FLT Kick-Ass Care Kit, and it's basically just a kit full of sanitary products and hygiene products for females. That will be put in all the toilets as well, and that is a requirement on the accreditation as well. So it's just mainly used as like an emergency kit for females on site. It just avoids the unnecessary awkward conversations that females can have with employers. So yeah, that's
and
what
it's
we've
a whole
implemented.
other comfort thing as well. By having a female toilet only and the Kick-Ass Care Kits, it just makes females feel more comfortable. They don't have to worry about where they're going to go to the toilet next, what facilities are going to be available, and all of that kind of stuff.
Like they know the company has what they need.
Yeah. So what's the future hold? Like, I'm just sitting here listening to all of the amazing things you're doing. And you're only just out of school. I can only imagine what's going to happen in the future. What's in your mind for Future Lady Tradies or beyond? What would you how do you want to take over the world? What's the vision?
Well, that's it. Take over the world.
And then?
So obviously we would love Future Lady Tradies to go national. So at the moment we are primarily Queensland based, but the plan is to go all around Australia.
And also to be the solution to the retention issue that Australia is experiencing at the moment. And by introducing Build It Like a Tradie, it will hopefully create awareness for the younger generation and have
Attract
younger
more
people
people.
coming into the industry, because at the end of the day, it's the future of our industry that we need to be looking at right now.
Yeah, love that. I was going to ask the question, but you've already answered it, whether it was national or not. But if there are, well, not if there are, there will be people listening to this all around the country. They still should reach out to you, I'm assuming, and have a
Definitely.
conversation, because there's just a bunch of online stuff and Zoom and video chat support stuff, even group sessions or whatever that I'm sure you can put together. So I'm assuming that anyone from anywhere should be giving you a call. Is that right?
Yeah, we will make
100%.
ourselves available.
Yeah.
We have actually had a company from Melbourne reach out to be accredited already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely reach out.
Yeah. So what do you think you need to go national? I mean, do you need boots on the ground? Do you need somebody in an office in each state, or can it all be done from a central position? What are you thinking?
We would probably need boots on the ground, just
Yeah.
because the support that we offer, it is very different. So we like to be face to face. We don't especially with the girls and the members. We sometimes there's only so much you can get over a text or an email or even a phone call. So we do like to have
build that relationship,
that face to face relationship.
Yeah. So I guess we really should be putting the call out for three groups of people by the sounds of it. We want anybody who's interested in becoming a tradesperson. For any ladies who are interested in becoming getting into the trades, they need to reach out to you. Any companies, 4 groups. I just came up with another one. Any companies that might want to do the whole accreditation thing. Any tradespeople that want to become mentors. And any inspired young people that could be all around the country that might want to join with you and set up an office or a point of contact in each of the states around Australia. Is that kind of who we're after, those 4 groups?
Yeah, definitely. You summed it up.
Yeah. Well, I think we've done an extraordinary job in this conversation from the perspective of there was only one question where everybody answered all at once. So I thought that was excellent. I thought, how is this going to work? I'll ask a question and everyone will have a go. And you don't even seem to be the type of twins that finish each other's sentences either. You seem to be kind of a little bit more individual than normal twins.
It depends on the day.
We definitely do finish each other's sentences and say the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. So, Taleah, what's it like working with twins, just quickly?
Oh, well, I have so many twins around me already. So I obviously grew up with Kayla and Aleah. My mum is a twin, my stepdad's a twin, and my partner is a twin as well. So I'm used to it. It's the normal.
Sometimes you're going to twin fights where Taleah's just quiet.
I just redirect and go, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Must be some bizarre family get-togethers. Like some stranger walks into one of your family get-togethers and what's going on here? Incredible. But I wish you all the best for the future. If there's anything that we can do at the ToolShed to be able to support the Future Lady Tradies and their journey towards world domination, we're here to support you. Any messages you need to get out there, more than happy to have you jump back onto the podcast and tell us about any new things that are happening. But inspirational stuff. Like I'm so glad that we found you guys and we're able to have a conversation with you, particularly this early in the journey. I hope that you're going to. When you become rich and famous, still talk to us and come back on the podcast at some stage.
Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. I hope you remember me when you achieve world domination. So there you have it, folks. That was Aleah, Taleah, and Kayla. I'm not sure which order it was, but there we have it. Fantastic stuff, inspirational stuff from the younger generation, really focusing in on some of the most critical challenges that are facing business now, and putting ideas and resources, physical resources, as well as the support out there to fix those problems, but also making the awareness, creating awareness of the value that any business can experience by having more females in the team, and bringing everybody together. So we're tapping into the whole genius rather than being the us and them and dealing with all of the issues that come with that. So it's very inspirational to see these young ladies doing something like this, and I wish them all the best, and hopefully we'll have them back in the podcast before you know it. But that's it for this. This episode is the word that I'm struggling for of the ToolShed podcast. We'll make sure that the website and all of the other social media links are in the description, so you can reach out and have a conversation with one or all three of these young ladies, whether you are a company that wants to talk to them, whether you are somebody who wants to offer your services, your time, your experience as a mentor, any young person wanting to get into the trades, or if you want to join the gang and be one of the Future Lady Tradies office in some other state other than Queensland, reach out and have a conversation. It's fantastic stuff. We'll be back with another episode of the ToolShed podcast. Before you know it, I'm Mick Horse from Builders Business Black Belt. That is all. I am out. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the ToolShed. If this podcast struck a chord with you, make sure you spread the word by sharing it with your mates in the building industry. We love your help to make the building industry better for everyone involved.